What's up? This is Trot Wam from Odds.com. This is the NBA breakdown coverage video for Wednesday, the 17th of February, 2021. In the link below, you hit this link, you get straight to our full breakdown, all the leans, all the picks, all the insight that we have for this show. We did pick out 3 games, and this is one of them. Make sure you hit the link below to get the full breakdown. The first game I'm going to talk about here is the New York Knicks going towards the Orlando Magic down in Florida, Orlando, Florida, where they are 4-point favorites here going into Orlando Magic. I'm anticipating the total, which is not out yet, to be around 212, 213. And again, let me just double check this to make sure that they're not out. Just to make sure that they're not out yet. But I believe that there's no total for this game. We're doing this show on February 16th. It's 8:32 my time at night, so there's not a lot of totals here on the West Coast, but we're going to get a lot of information from FanDuel. A lot of odds that I took here so far is going to be from FanDuel, so I'm going to use them for right now. Now, going into this Orlando Magic game, once again, the Knicks are our favorite coming in on the road at 4 points. Seeing Bet MGM is already laying at 4.5. So you're seeing that there are books that are leaning towards the Knicks here, and rightfully so. I mean, going into the injury report here for the Orlando Magic, we have Cole Anthony, who's out, won't be able to see the court until after the All-Star break. They just recently added to his injury report, who was originally a shoulder strain, if I'm not mistaken, to now being a fractured rib. So he has a fractured rib along with the shoulder strain. He won't see the court until after the All-Star break. Evan Fournier, one of their top 3-point shooters, marksman there, and a lot of the heavy usage rate was relying on that guy as well since Marco Fultz was out. He's out as well with back, I believe, contusions or just a back injury from what I wrote down here. Now, we do have some people that may be possibly coming back. James Ennis is questionable. Al-Farouq Aminu is questionable as well. Those two guys are not necessarily big impact players. Obviously, on both sides of the ball, they are on the defensive side. So other than them being a very good guys on defense, Aminu kind of here and there on the 3-point range there, but I'm not anticipating them guys coming back being a big impact on the team and helping this team, who seems like they're on a bad morale anyway. Now, Orlando is coming off of a 109 loss, 190 loss to the Suns. The Suns look like they're putting the work towards Brooklyn without James Harden and Kevin Durant. I'm sorry, without Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. So it seems like this is a really good Suns team. When they lost about 19 points there, it kind of started off early though for the Orlando Magic. They came out 16-28 in the first quarter, shooting 25%. Nikola Vucevic, who's pretty much been the only reliable source of points, had 42 points prior, who end up losing, which we actually end up losing money on that Sacramento game on Friday. So he was coming off of a 42-point game on Friday to go turn around on Sunday and only score 2 points in that first quarter. So obviously it was some sort of fatigue for Nikola Vucevic. He finished the game with 14 points, from going 42 points to 14 points. Yeah, you're definitely not going to win those games out there if that's your ace in the hole. Not being able to hold out production than some of these bench players. It was kind of a bad sign that they were going to lose that game. And another bad sign was that Terrence Ross was the team high leader in points at 23 points per game. So they really had no chance to even play or to even compete in this game against the Suns. Dwayne Bacon, though, been one of those guys that's a bright spot since all these injuries happened. He wasn't necessarily a guy that was going to be pushed out there. I don't think that was going to be just possibly like a contributor, a role player, but he seems like he's one of those guys that's just taking the ownership. Clifford, Steve Clifford, the coach of the Orlando Magic, seems like he trusts his guys, so his usage rate has been really up, and it has been showing. A lot of these guys have been aware of it. Terrence Ross, for example, did speak and allude to Dwayne Bacon being aggressive after their loss against the Suns, and that being one of the things that's keeping them afloat. They could be losing by worse from what they're saying here. And I kind of agree. Without him, they're pretty much on the back end. But even with him, having these guys out like Fultz, Cole Anthony, who was Fultz backup, and then from Cole's Anthony backup, Frank Mason to also have a growing strain, if I'm not mistaken. He was just released. They have to pick up somebody else now from the G League to pick up the pieces here. Is it just seems like they're really getting decimated at injury, and along with playing pretty good teams, they're not going to see any type of wins no time soon. So I would definitely just look at Orlando Magic as possibly a favorite fade team from here on out. It doesn't seem like they got anything cooking. As much as players like Mo Bamba and other guys have been kind of getting in the rhythm, semi of a rhythm. They're not doing enough as far as production wise to take away from losing Fultz, losing Fournier, and having Nikola just to have some days off. I mean, 14 points. He just needed a day off, needed a break. He can't get that break. So that's one of those things that you got to look at this game as is Nikola going to ball out or are they going to just do too much? I don't think he's going to ball out against this Knicks team. The Knicks has been playing really well, really great. They're coming off of a great win against the Hawks where Julius Randle just seemed like he just couldn't miss. He had 44 points, 1 point shy from his career high, which is 45 points. He had a career high in 3-point makes in this game against the Hawks, 7 for 13 from the three. That helped the Knicks go from a 123, 112 win to get pushed past the Hawks there. Now, the Knicks are actually rolling without their big center, Mitchell Robinson, who's had an injury there. They're 2-0 without him. Nerlens Noel, Taj Gibson, they've been filling in pretty decently, and I kind of anticipate those two veterans to continue to do that. Another thing for that I want to mention as well is that I would really low on this Knicks team, as I should, and I said this before. Is a lot of that because of historical reasons, but Tom Thibodeau, the coach for the Knicks, I actually have to tip my hat off to him that I do not have on. He's been doing a really good job, and the Knicks along with getting Derrick Rose, who seems like he's been a great addition for a lot of these young guys, immediately coming out and telling all the reporters that he's here to mentor Emmanuel quickly, and these other young guards. That's really good news, and it kind of seems like it shows. Now, the Knicks covered 6 of the last 7 games against the spread. They also won 5 of the last 7 games straight up in that span as well. So in that same 7-game span, the Knicks are ranked number 6 in 3-point percentage at 40%, number 1 in rebounds at 48 rebounds a game, number 1 in opponent's field goal percentage, holding opponents to 41% from the field, and number 1 in opponent 3-point percentage at 29%. They've been kind of doing that all year though, being the top 3, top 5 opponent holding opponents to in the 3-point percentage. They've been really good at doing that. And as of late, they've been shooting crazy. So that gives me an indication that they're probably going to continue to have a high streak. And again, one thing to mention as well, that Derrick Rose coming off the bench, having a veteran presence, seems like it's really helping this team. The last 3 games for both of these teams, the Knicks have a plus 11 differential on the points per game at 117 points to the Orlando Magic's 106 points. So they have 11-point advantage there. They're holding opponents to 10 less points per game. Magic are allowing 110 points per game in the last 3 games. The Knicks are at 100. We know they're a really good under team. They're really good defensively. One of the other things I want to mention as well, that these guys are fighting off of pick and rolls. They're going back towards their man when they're running for help. It's really showing that a lot of their effort on defense is translating to those covers that they've been doing the last 7 games, along with the points and the effort on the effort on defense is translating to points, and you can definitely tell that they're having fun doing it. Now, also in that last 3 games, they're having a 15-point differential within points in the paint against this Magic team. Magic are averaging 35 points per game in the paint, and this Knicks team, sorry, they're at 50 points per game in the paint. So that's pretty good for them. They're always going in there, and if they're shooting really good, which they're plus 7 and effective field goal percentage difference. So they have a 7% difference in effective field goal percentage at 55.6% to the Magic's 48.7%. They're having a 5 point difference in defensive rebounding percentage. Just gives me an indication that I just want to take the team that's hot. I want to take the team that's playing more defense and the team that's healthy. These guys are adding players that are veterans, adding value to their lineups rather than picking up guys off the G League and just hoping that it sticks on the wall there, man. It just seems like Orlando Magic is probably going to be a fade team from here on out. I don't want to say that officially, but for right now, the last few times I have been fading them. We did lose against Nikola Vucevic having 41 points, but against this team, this Knicks team, who's been very good defensively, very good on the three. Terrence Ross still shooting terrible, 30% for the last 7 games. I don't think these guys are going to be able to pick up the pieces there. Having Fournier out, having the point guard situation there, and I mentioned it last time. These guys are going back to the basket from half court to get the ball up the court. They're playing 60 style basketball right now for this Orlando Magic team. That won't help. And I was gonna say that shit won't help, but it won't. So, and then also another thing to note that the Knicks off of a win right now, they're at 61% against the spread when they're off a win. Along with the Knicks cover 6 of the last 10 first quarters, including one push. So the last 10, including one push, the Knicks cover 6 of the last 10 there, and you add one push to that. Also, in the first half, the Knicks seem like this is a good play early. So I'm actually going to take the Knicks -4 that are allowing at FanDuel at -110. But I have a real strong lean to the first half. I don't think the Knicks, I don't think the Magic are going to come out hot and going to come out with aggressiveness as if the Knicks are. We do know what type of energy the Knicks are going to bring. Tom Thibodeau is bringing back the old band, like Jimmy Butler said. Magic also have only they've lost 7 of their last 10 in the first half against the spread, so they haven't covered 7 of the last 10 in the first half, while the Knicks covered 9 of the last 10 in the first half. Strong lean in the first half. I'm going to take the Knicks -4 for my first official bet at FanDuel -110. Makes the most sense to me. Fade the team that's decimated at an injury, and then also take the team that's taking advantage of the injuries and playing pretty well, which in Taj Gibson and Nerlens Noel with the Mitchell Robinson injury there, and they've 2-0 since that. So I like this pick here a lot. I want to start off with that just to give y'all that indication. As far as the total here, again, I'm scared. I'm seeing it not available at the market here, so they're not necessarily available at the market. But I'm thinking it's going to be around 212, 213, 212 and a half, something around there. I honestly would just say go under on this total. To be honest with you, I don't think that the Magic are going to be able to score enough points to go over this total. Even if the Knicks score 115 points, I still think that you're not going to see the Magic at 100 points. So you should be able to get under this total here. But neither here nor there. There's just a lean there.